5 minutes. No?
Yeah.
It frustrates me. You guys were walking in and installed it, and we're just like,
No, it's depending on the problem is actually my business. Yeah, my targets are very different. You know, sometimes I set up fish tanks, something like this, sometimes a hardscape like this. So I can't concentrate in one thing. I have to do a lot of things, and I wish to have more time for real plans, hardscapes, but the most time I'm doing something like this. I get invitation, or I get booked, and then I come in 2 hours before the show, or 3 hours before the show, and then I have to decide what I make. I get some rocks, and some roots, and then I have some plants, and I have to start. And the most crazy thing was in 2 years ago, there was a opening for the International Chinese Aquascaping contest, and normally I don't have time to go to China, and they really must come because it's the official opening, and we have to set up a tank. I said, I only have 24 hours time. Okay, come. Okay. I fly to Shanghai in 12 hours. To the airport, 2 hours by taxi because of the traffic from the airports to the exhibition center in Shanghai. And then I come to the exhibition at 10:30. I was completely out of order after 20 hours travel time, and they said, okay, your show is at 11. So okay, I have 20 minutes time. Okay, that's cool. And I need to, yes, I have nothing. Some rocks, some roots, and then I have to try to make entertainment and hardscape. So this is the reality. So I wish to make more planned hardscape or something else like that. Maybe when I get older. Let's see. So, any questions, Kevin?
nothing yet. Okay. I'm not waiting for.
I have a question from the live stream.
Yeah.
Where can people get your book?
What? Where? It's a good question.
They should come here.
Let me check out if I think we have some, and we can try to send you a link. It's not an official. It was more a kind of memory for me. It's not a real trade book, but send us a contact and then. Yeah.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Why did Amano love Rikia so much?
What?
Why did Amano love Rikia so much?
This is me. I hate it.
It seems like everybody else hates it.
Yes, but the Japanese like to maintain it. That's the difference, I think. You know, this is it's a kind of passion, like bonsai. And I think if you keep them really small and maintain them, and they start to assimilate, I think that's one of the most impressive plants. I think it's not it's not a real underwater plant. It's a swimming plant, but
It's Satan's fart.
yeah. But I think this was really because it's a challenge. They need a challenge.
Yeah.
And I remember the first Reacher tanks I saw in the old books. This was also one of the reasons to start with this kind of hobby, to see the Reacher landscapes and how it's possible. Yeah. I never seen this plant before. Yeah, that was the reason.
So what's worse, duckweed or ricky?
What?
Duckweed or Rikia?
What's worse?
What's worse?
Duckweed. Reacher you can kill. Duckweed.
Some fish will eat it.
But you can also eat duckweed. Salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And smoke. And smoke.
That's a new one for me.
Hey Oliver, you set up a tank for the IndieGoGo campaign with Altum Angels from Germany. And I just saw it on your Instagram. You know which tank I'm talking about?
Which one? I understand.
It was an IndieGoGo Felix campaign.
Yeah.
With the Altums.
Yeah, we made this campaign. We set up the tank for it, the promotion tank.
Yeah.
And,
it looks like you have pretty big rocks in there. Where'd you get those rocks?
They are coming from Poland, from my friend Adam.
What kind of rocks are they?
Yes, but it's also fun because normally, Adam, if you see me, you know who has the idea for the names. Because I know Adam Paschella from Poland was a big Lord of the Ring fans, and then he showed me his the stones, and it's a long time ago, 12, 14 years ago, when I saw that call them Frodo stones. Huh? Now they sell it as Frodo stones.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason. But they are really nice because they have a nice structure and.
It looks like you put them pretty close to the front of the glass, just to like keep the Altums. I don't know.
You know,
in front.
I have to go back in Poland soon.
Yeah.
Just gotta go see Adam. Gotta come back to Sunday.
What is it really? Can you source it here in the States? It's kind of thing like a landscape.
I mean, why would I tell that on the live stream?
They want to make money.
Oliver, what are your top recommendations for aquascaping tools?
For tools.
Yeah, like not the brands necessarily, but the what are
Honestly,
useful things?
I only use long normal people. I don't make this or this or this. Just this one and not too fine, because I like to have something in the hand. Huh? Yeah. And but I think everybody is a little bit different, and then depending on the size. Sometimes I have set up aquariums with a height of 150, 160, and you can't do any normal tools in this tank, and but also not normal plants. There's something like this. US tools.
Yeah, sometimes you need them.
It's good souvenir for me. Huh?
Yeah, you want them?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. What are you give me? I like some of those snuggle.
Show me.
Yeah, no, you take it. Beat up, they're old.
You are a weapon country. You know, you can kill someone.
Do you sell those here or no?
Those?
Yeah.
No.
No?
This is cool.
Yeah.
That's the equalizer.
Go on with this. Oh man.
Well, actually, it came from my business partner, Kyle.
Okay. Thanks.
He's stealing them, but
Deserving as well?
Let me try. You can destroy them in one touch.
so you're not mad at me anymore because I gave you big tools?
That is cool.
Oliver, you can always have my big tools.
It's also for anything. They're really heavy. They go inside like butter.
I don't know where you guys
Really?
I feel like children.
I've never seen that size before. I've been looking for ones that big.
I've only ever used them a
Yeah.
couple tanks.
I would
I have a client who has a, oh crap, I can't remember. It's something like 800 centimeters by 800 centimeters by 45 centimeter tank. I get like out in the middle, I got a, it's huge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Kevin, you remember the Portugal, the big aquarium?
I can't hear you.
Sorry, you remember Portugal, the big aquarium from Amano?
Yeah.
Using tools as,
Yeah.
with the extender and all this.
Well, they just get it right in there. A little scrubby brush, get the
They have
scuba gear.
divers,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, I've been there. Every time I go there, there's always divers in there, and then they've just trimmed.
Yeah.
So I've never seen it not trimmed. Like the 3 times that I've been there.
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, so I'm not being gypped. It's just.
No, anyway, it's cool. That's for me.
Yeah, that's for you.
Yeah. So I start with the normal one. I'm just finished with the Leoxys in a few minutes, so I make them the left and the right side, a little bit in the middle.
Oliver, when can I get a Felix?
I think they start in March, April.
Available in March?
Yeah, March, April, something else. Yeah.
In the US?
All the first are getting the packers, yeah? And after, I think they start off with selling. It can be very interesting, the camera especially, not only to control the equipment, but the camera, in my opinion, is one of the most interesting things.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. We'll probably put it on that test. Because we'll put big cool fish that I won't kill by accident. There's no CO2 in the tank. Yeah, I'm trying.
So I put the Lelopsis inside, and now I using the Sagittaria. This is one of my favorite plants. It's a little bit like a Valesneria, but this is Supulata is getting something like this. And it's very easy to keep and very fast growing, and I put them a little bit more in the background because they start to speed very fast. And, I'm searching for the perfect taste. Not find it yet.
Oliver, how much plant mass is the right amount when you're planting?
What?
How much plant do you want to plant in the tank when you're first planting?
How much different or how much?
How many plants do you want to put in? You're putting a lot of plants in.
And now I put so many plants, I have the space for it. Because to having, in this case, it's yeah, a lot of plants means also much more easy at the beginning. You have a lot of material inside and it starts growing, and I try to put yeah, the space I have, maybe 35% left. I use all plants on it, and maybe in quantity 50, 60 around, I think. So how much different kind of plants, I don't know, maybe 5, 6.
Kevin, what's the common name for that Liliopsis stuff? What would we call it? Like, what's like the common name for Liliopsis? Yeah, is it like sword or?
Oh crap, I don't know.
Oh, I switched it off.
No, that's fine. You're
I'm getting crazy.
I like it. I honestly don't know.
Microsword, no?
Is it Microsword?
No, Microsword's something else, isn't it?
Well, there's two types of Liliopsis.
There's like 4. There's like the Novia, there's the...
There's like the narrow leaf, there's the...
Brasiliensis.
Oh
That's Brasiliensis, New Zealand,
Yeah.
and Mauritania, I think, and I don't know.
I literally have books in there that'll tell you everything.
Oh, okay.
I have like 5 plant dictionaries. I can't remember so much.
Yeah. It's just funny because in like the U.S., so often things are sold by their common name, not by the Latin name. So.
Which I'm discovering.
Yeah, there's a big conflict between.
I had to rename everything on my site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone on the live stream is very excited about the fan being off. So
It's gonna get hot in here. Everybody get ready.
So.
It's fine. We'll finally get Oliver's shirt off.
Yeah.
Joey will be excited.
I'm too old for this.
I don't know. Joey looks like the kind of guy who looks like he's a sugar daddy. Somebody, you know, smack him around. I mean, it could be me. I'm older than him too. Well, I should have said that.
So, any questions actually? Something?
How are you going to keep
It
slope?
looks similar.
What?
Like the slope that you have, how's it going to stay? I know a lot of people.
With the plants.
With the plants are using.
So yeah.
If you put everything with plants, so that the roots of the plants is like staying there. Okay, maybe 10-15% is. And if you have the wrong, too much, for example, too much amount of shrimps inside, and they can destroy everything.
So that's like a really good point. I know a lot of people always ask me this question. It's like when you have like a heavy slope, how do you keep it? And I guess it's more for like people not here, but plant heavy. Always plant heavy.
Yeah. The roots are, for example, the Sagittaria, they will have the roots here down in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Very fast. And that's good for the whole setup. So let's see, Starobühne, Repens, maybe I put them on the different side.
I have more Knotts.
Yeah, maybe.
They're converted, so it's even better.
But it's a very nice plant, not so not so popular. But when you grow them for a long time, it's very nice. Little ground, 4-point plant, and I taste Starobühne. Yes,
I sell a lot of them actually.
yes.
And they're really great carpeting plants. They're low tech and high tech. So,
What would you stock this tank with, fish-wise?
Fish-wise, good question. Yeah. So I think it's up to the owner. No, yes.
Congo puffers.
Again.
Coopies.
Yes. Yes, I think a small. I think you can put also shrimps inside, small shrimps. I think they will be fine. Small barbs.
Barbs? Or like, how about like green neons?
Yes.
Green neons? Or, I mean, I like the golden barbs. They're my favorite. One of my favorites.
Axelrod, best bars.
I have a really bad history with them.
Oh, no.
I have 100% fatality. I just kill them like it's my job. People should pay me to kill them. I'm really good at it.
I've been told you can't, they're like one of the few, they can't be outside of water.
Ever.
You
No,
need
the
to-
gills immediately get damaged. Like you can't even like put them in a bag and a net and then in there.
Yeah, you gotta get a hard shrimp tank.
Can you take me 2 or 3 Starobühne?
No, I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
Because I killed like 50 with it.
Wait, which fish?
Axelrodies, the
Vesperus.
they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely. Because they have the green, the red, and the blue.
Should I? Or you can
Just gonna dip into.
So I put now some from the narrow leaf microsorghum on the left side. So if you have holes like this, it's not necessary to add them on a rock or on a wood. So you can just put them a little bit in a gap, and something like this is very easy. So for sure, if you want something like this, you maybe later I make some also on the top. But now I just get a small group here. Left side. Yeah, it's okay. You keep them signs. How long?
3 weeks.
Yeah. Still change the leaves. Any questions, please?
Questions. What's your favorite color?
What? What? What's my favorite what?
Favorite color?
Color?
Yeah, just color. No plans.
Black. Black.
Black. Such a dark soul.
Yeah, like Batman.
Who's your favorite aquascaper?
My favorite aquascaper.
Yeah.
Be careful now.
It's not me.
It's not living anymore.
Current.
Current. Okay, current. Let me think about it. Fukada, Japan.
That's a good one.
And there's a lot of things, but Fukada, I like He's like not a copy from Mr. Romano, but like he has the real soul inside. Huh? And but I know when he act or when he sit in front the tank and escape, and the look is the same like Takashi Romano. I feel a little bit, but there's a lot of great guys over there. Also the Brazilian guys. There are so many. Cool aquascaper. So I have no favorite. There's a lot, and I admire everybody for the talents. So everybody has a talent, and some are great in Iwagumi, some are great to making amazing hardscape. You see what Indonesian guys are made for hardscape. So this is really nice to see, and so I like to see much more talented people. And for sure, Kevin is a great guy.
I'm just being silly.
No,
I'm just keeping everything nice and moist.
Is anyone else in the U.S. that you are familiar with? You like?
Yes, my Jeff Sensky is special, and Mike is not so the scaper, but Jeff is. I know Jeff long time, and yes, also a lot. I met some, the aquatic experience. Yeah,
There's a couple guys there,
Yeah.
Attack.
yes.
Yeah.
Although, what's the name of the woman?
Jennifer Williams.
Yes, Jennifer and Rachel also.
Rachel, yeah.
I like to see more women also. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Jennifer Williams is good.
Yes.
She's in the chat.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
She's terrible.
There you go.
Terrible. Redheads, you can't trust them.
So let me do some maneuvers also maybe between.
Yeah, the escape that Jennifer did this year for Aquatic Experience was beautiful. It was really beautiful. She did a big tank, it was beautiful. I'll show you later.
Yeah. It's also very different if you, for example, if you make some live events, live competition, if you're making online competition, it's very different. And so, but it's nice as much we have, as good. This is for the hobby, so we need more.
Yeah.
More good people with a passion and something else.
So Oliver,
Yes.
you have like a small apartments like we have here in New York. What would be like the minimum size that you would recommend for still have like a nice landscape, hardscape? But
Yes, I think you can honestly you can use every nano tank to make something. But if you want to keep fish inside, I think you need at least 60 centimeters, something else. Be like this. But for nano tanks, you can if you want to have more experience with plants, they are perfect because if you have the nano tanks, you have a lot of light on the top, and you can keep so many plants in a very good condition without too much technical equipment. So I think nano tanks will be a good start for nice scapes and especially the plants experience. But for sure, when you want to keep more interesting fish inside, you have to go on a little bit bigger.
All the tanks that I have for sale in the shop are geared for New York City. You know, like they're small,
smaller ones.
easier to keep.
It's like in Japan, that's the similar, or also in China, because their flats are very expensive, small, and you can't keep so big tanks. Like my customer, they're having 5 meter tanks, so okay.
Some people get creative. I have a client that I had to do 7.5 gallon tanks with 13 of them.
Yeah.
The first one was all red plants, the last one's all green, and did all the colors in between. So went from like red to purple to yellow or orange, and then yellow, and then to green.
Okay.
So it was, They don't take up much space, it's just like all right next to each other.
So now we are finished with the normal. I think the red one, I don't know, we can eat it.
You throw it over and then you get married. Or...
Maybe after I'm not sick anymore. Yeah? Medicine.
I don't have insurance for you, so. I said it last night, I'll say it again, like, we'll drive past the hospital, I'll put you out, I won't stop, and then we'll do it old school style. Treat you like a bullet, victim. Gunshot victim, I guess.
So I'm not shoot. I'm dying because of East Side River or East River Campus.
Oh, at least you didn't need any plans from there, because then we'd be worried.
So it's the first time I see New York.
Oh.
Yeah, never been here before, but I don't see so much. Only
I didn't see anything.
a little bit snow and all the same building here in Brooklyn.
He's been our basement troll the past couple of days. We don't let him leave.
But I'm alive. That's cool.
Well, there's still time.
Oh.
We saw the New York skyline for like 2 minutes
Yes.
before it
No,
snowed
that
out.
was Long Island City. That wasn't Manhattan.
Like, that's not accurate.
Saw the East River.
That's all that matters.
So
That's all you need to see.
At least it doesn't catch on fire anymore.
do you have different people in Brooklyn than in Manhattan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah? Okay. Is there someone from Manhattan? Okay.
Brooklyn's the best. That's where all the cool people live.
Okay.
Queens.
In
What?
Manhattan?
Who said Queens?
Queens.
Yes, yes.
It's fine. You gotta get out of here through me. I'm stabby.
Bring it.
Oliver, how do you know how much light to put into a tank?
So in this case, a little bit different because we're using also plants with not so much light intensity depending on the plant. So, but the plants I add here are not really complicated. So when I'm using hemianthus or some other really sensitive stem plants, I have to take care a little bit more. For this, in this case, if you're using 2 of the cattle and we put them in the center like this, it's completely enough. But it's a little bit experience. And sometimes also how much maintenance you want to spend on the tank. So you can grow hemianthus in not so compact with a little bit less light, or you can have them really compact with a lot of light, but then you have to spend more time in maintenance and in fertilizer and everything. So now we finish with the normal pots and we go on with in vitro plants, now getting also, well, not now, I think you know them. Actually, honestly, I was one of the first in Europe who sell in vitro plants in the trade shop, because this was very new for the customer, because especially plants like this. I know this from Tropica because the Marsilea hirsuta was available in the pots like this, and looks like a lucky, I don't know what's the name, what type of clay?
Clover, 4-leaf clover.
What?
4-leaf clover?
Okay. Like, yeah, you know. It looks like a house plant. And Marsilea hirsuta over water looks like a house plant. And everybody put them inside, and then the plants, the leaves are dying. And then they put it out and came to the shop and said, "Oh, what you sell me? The plants is dying." And no, they don't die. They change. They change. And after in vitro come out, they remove the plants in the pot, because now Marsilea is growing at least in the same condition like underwater. But at the beginning, that people don't understand what this is, and also sometimes they are not understands how much inside is in the in vitro plant. For example, this Helantinum or IndieGoGo's Tellus, the old one. When you buy a traditional pot from this plant, maybe you have the material something like this inside, maximum. This is in a normal pot. And you have 3-4 times more in the in vitro cup sometimes, but the people don't understand it, because the price was also around 7-8 euro or $10 in the beginning, and people don't understand.
I wish it was like that.
Yes. What's the normal price for in vitro plant?
$12 to $22, depending on the plant.
So we have half price.
Yeah.
Half, a little bit more in Europe. But as I saw it, it's much more easier. The production is, you don't have any regulations. So this,
Yeah. Because all these come from Singapore.
Yes.
So it's a whole different than getting them from Europe.
Yeah. So to use this plant really, normally you have to remove all the roots here. You can collect the small one, the big one, so you're having around maybe 20, 25 different plants, maybe 30 plants. So when you work really exact and you divide them in the pieces you have, maybe you need only 50% of the material. So I'm using now the material to take it looks a little bit more filled, but if you take care like a Japanese with your plants, you don't need so much plants. that's not a good tip for you. And I also have the very interesting, some customers who buy the in vitro plants the first time, they come into the shop and say, "What you sell me for plants? Why? They are swimming." "What, swimming?" "Yes, see, they are swimming." Yo, please lady, you have to remove from her. I think it was a lady, I don't know. They put in, no experience. They think they can put the plants in tank like this in the tank. So, okay, this failed. But,
I mean, when I know I have big clients, what I'll do is I actually take little cups like that and put a little aqua soil.
Yes.
And then I like grow them out immersed in little cups, and I can like a little plastic wrap on them, take them to the client's house, I just drop them in.
Yeah.
Instant card it, already grown in, already bonded to the soil. Takes about 3 weeks to prep. 4 weeks.
I also do sometimes I do this because some customers was a little bit lazy. I don't know the real name for this. I explain this what this is. That's full blend. So this is the liquid agar. No, I don't. So sometimes I explain what you can do is you can do this like this. Like this, and then you add a little bit soil. And then you can grow them like a pot. You can put them down, and they're growing really like a huge plant, and after you can remove them. So this is for the lazy people.
Yeah.
I don't want to put them in the bin.
Said, "Oh, you make this." Okay. That's cool. I can game the gamer, New generation, huh? The Fortnite gamer. So. 3 billion in 1 year. So, okay.
How much?
3 billion turnover. My son is playing Fortnite, and I have the discussion with him. I said, okay, you know how they earn the money? It's not your money, it's my money. I want the skin, I want the skin. Next time I also have a skin.
Aquascaping skin.
$20 for skin. Great. So, okay.
Oh, really?
Yes, they
I'm
play.
not wrong. I actually knew I should go to computer games.
You pay $20 to take it. You look like a carrot or like an apple.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, I years ago I had an interview at Rockstar Games, and I got distracted by a girl on the subway, and I ended up going on a date with her.
Yeah.
And then she never called me.
So, any questions? I just put a little bit Latino inside. And for sure, if you, I think the audience here is very skilled. So, but I explain it again. So the 3 points for in vitro plants is no algae, no snails, no pesticide, and you get what you buy. That's also very important. So if you buy Taxiphyllum spiky, you only get Taxiphyllum spiky and no crazy plants inside.
I mean, I would only do tissue culture if I knew that would be a big seller and nobody buys it.
Especially for nano tanks. So for shrimp tanks, I think in vitro is really one of the best choice because yeah, at the beginning when they start with a very expensive shrimps from Taiwan, and then they start to using the wrong plants from Asia and kill the shrimps. So there are a lot of people have made a bad experience with them, and with the in vitro plants, this is really safe, and the plants growing sometimes double so fast like the normal plants because they are able to grow from the start very fast. And yeah.
My favorite is Knott. It's called Knott. It's one of my favorite plants. You have like a 30 centimeter tank, you just need one tissue culture. It fills in like a couple weeks. Carpet. It's so dense you're like just ripping out nodes like within like 30 days.
Start to clove?
It's the smallest one in the Minnesota. They're how do you say? I'm stuffy. If Jen Williams is watching, she's probably shaking her hand at me right now.
But there's also sometimes.
Marcellia?
What's up?
Is it Marcellia?
Marcellia? I massacred.
Yeah.
The thing is I can speak Latin and I still like massacre.
Well, sometimes also there's plants like Hemianthus or Glossostigma are a little bit more difficult to plant like in a traditional pot, because they are really tiny leaves, not leaves, the roots are really tiny, and if you don't take care they come up, so yes, every choice.
Lots that you can train to carpet.
Yeah.
Just gotta, or put really bright light on it.
Any questions?
What happens if you fill the tank and you get floaters? Do you put them back or do you just accept that they escape?
Depending on what is coming up. Sometimes, especially Hemianthus, you have them really close together, and then if you try to put them again, 2 others come up.
Yeah.
Then it's better to say, okay, don't care. But okay, if it's only a few plants, it's not necessary. I think the most important is that you are filling the tank really slowly, and yeah, that's the most important. So, and put the plants really in the ground, not so good. Downstairs. It's okay, the most plants survive.
Yeah, no. Again, like, I notice with like people, Americans, very gentle. I mean, they're like bad, plants are like bad girlfriends. You treat them like crap and they'll love you forever.
Yeah. Treat them like a boy.
I have an important question from the live stream.
Yeah.
What is the most delicious aquascaping plant?
The most delicious. I think the most scary is cryptocarina, because some cryptocarina your mouth getting like you having.
You get tingling.
Yes.
Tingling.
Yeah. Yes.
You've done this more than once?
No. And Anubias is really hard. Yeah. It's hard. You have them in your tooth for 1 week. But we can make them something like a aquatic plant cooking contest. Why not? Who made the best salad, or?
And I have burgers here.
What's the tastiest fish?
Sometimes some salads are more expensive than a good steak.
Yes. Did you say so? Yeah. I'm very poor. I don't know this.
Mine too.
Any more questions? Anyone? Otherwise, I'm going to just start making up questions from the live stream.
You should do that.
There's some You know, they are not here. They are allowed to answer questions. They can do all the questions what they like. Don't worry. Maybe ask, and maybe I will give the answer.
How do you get the fern to grow compact?
The fern.
Yeah.
The best way is if you start it and you cut them completely before.
What do you mean? You cut it at the base of the leaf?
Yes. And because the most of these leaves they're getting some young leaves, you know, they're getting some layers here.
Yeah.
And especially or Congo farm ball beeties is better to cut them. And then they start to grow with other water leaves and getting more compact. And
do you cut all? You don't cut all of them at once though. Maybe half.
Yes. Yeah. But sometimes I do this for shows, but then the tank looks ugly. Yes.
Yeah, people got to see the vision.
They want to see something. So I'm using this here, what I make with this now.
So do you have any tanks of your own at home?
Not anymore.
Your office has a bunch of tanks.
Yes, I have an office, so but at home actually not, because too much trouble. Only one better tank, without no lights, no filter. Only better on the window, on the north window. It's good. Maintenance zero. But I like to have I have this stream tank in my office. Fill up too less employed to work for me here. Okay? That's the reason, maybe. Yeah. So I'm the lonely rider. Huh?
People are like emailing me questions while they're watching the live stream. If you have questions, just
go on the live stream.
Like don't.
What on that note, once this is filled, are you going to fertilize the water column, or is it getting all its nutrients from the substrate?
No. Depending also on the plants, so I have also some nucleus or microsome. They're getting also more the nutrients from the water. So it's at the beginning, the soil released a lot of nutrients and macro and everything. But after 3-4 weeks, I start with micro and macro base, depending also on the light. But it's depending a little bit on the plant. But liquid fertilizer is always a good choice. When I have this from customers, I'm using the dosing pumps, something else.
We'll probably do like 3 hours, 3 hours on, 3 hours off.
Yes.
Yeah. So the first like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then do like a ramp, eventually get the lights up higher. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of T5s and halides, but LEDs, especially with their smart LEDs, it's controlling algae is so much easier now. So much easier.
I think sometimes it's better to having maybe not this extremely nice compact plants, and but a custom. If we have 4, 5, 6 hours light and you can control the grow, and the customer is more satisfied. You know, if you are trained people and passionate people, then you don't care about this. This is your hobby. But my customers are mostly they want to enjoy the tank, and they call me when a small algae is, oh, I can't clean my tank, and they have to call me or somebody. So for me, the goal is a little bit to make easy tanks. So, but for sure, I like to see all in the contest tanks, the amazing plant tanks. I know how much work it is, and especially the cutting and to keep them in a great condition. So that's the reason is I always love to see this kind of tanks.
What's the type of tank or style of tank that you're interested in working on right now?
Sorry.
Style of layout.
The style of layout.
Type of tank.
Hot
water.
Actually, I'm the fan. I just explained it yesterday from the stream tanks. This is actually one of the most impressive concepts, because there's completely other kind of life inside for the fish and also for the plants. If you can see the plants moving like this in the stream, and if you take a look in the tank, nothing is moving. It's I think it's coming up with real interesting things to having a real constant big stream in the tank, and you see the plants growing and the fish acting completely different. I think this can be a new kind of part of the hobby, like nano tanks. But you need to find a concept who is yeah, you can. It's not so expensive. I think the pumps is the problem. It's like in the movie, you have a lot of pumps, but you need this circle. And you, but this is actually my most interesting thing I want to make. Also in combination with the fans, because I see the plants growing completely different in this kind of aquarium.
What do you think is the best way to get the flow for a stream tank in a smaller size? Maybe just like an oversized
yes,
canister or
I think
something?
the only way is to having this round trip.
Yeah.
You need to have the whole water going, falling down and coming up. You can make this in small, that's no problem. You know, there's so small nano stream tank pumps for marine, and if somebody make a 60 centimeter stream tank, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Also, I keep the CPO, the crayfish, the small crayfish inside, because they like this also. Because it's coming, I don't know, maybe I think from rivers and not from
streams.
Yeah, they come from rivers.
And you see they go inside under the gravel or under the pebbles. And, I think it's really different because the fish acting really, or the animal acting really different inside. So, and for when you want to have this is one, the plant I explained at the beginning, Marsilea hirsuta. This was a foreground plant. I set up a 4-meter tank, discus tank, 120 high, and 6,000 liter. I using before in vitro is available 600 pots of Marsilea. And this was the first tank I can keep a foreground plant at this size really for long term in a big tank, because Marsilea is one of the most easiest foreground plants ever I've used. So need not much light. If you have more light, they go more compact, but you can keep them really for long term. So this is one of my all-time favorites for easy foreground plants. And yeah.
Is there an advantage over the pendant lights versus a standard strip light?
Yes, and okay, you're having more spots here. You're having the concentration of the lamp is more. If you're having, for example, a spot of red plants or something else, and then the side not so much plants, you need not so much light. And if you want to have the completely tank in the same light conditions, I think it's better to using kind of you know what I mean. You explain. Sorry, it's too late and I'm sick, you know.
No worries.
Which is Alex's fault.
Let's not focus on that.
So, can you bring me a Coke or something, or beer?
You take a beer?
Can I drink a beer in front of the camera? Is it allowed in USA?
Yes. You're an old man, you're allowed to drink. What would you like? Would you like?
Yes, bring me alcohol free.
Would you like some whiskey?
No. Bring me just a normal beer without alcohol.
Okay.
No, because my coat is coming. And you can see also these plants when they are growing. Sometimes they try to find out grow with this over water leaves, with these fortune things. And there's so many. When I remember the first Marsilea pots I buy to use, I have maximum this inside. different. This was a normal Marsilea pot, Tropica, and this is the quantity now. It's changed everything. So for this reason they removed a lot of plants now growing only in vitro because for to make it like I remember something when I watch movies when you drive in car or something else.
Oh, brown bag in it?
Yeah.
I had brown bags in the back.
No one will ever suspect anything.
Should we play a little bit of Biggie in the background? Get it really going?
So I think I plant the whole Marsilea also under the trees, and then I have to decide what I make with the trees. Actually, maybe some moss, put some moss on it, or we let it just as a as a dye.
No, I'm gonna find an intern with little hands. I'm telling you, it's a new life. Little hands.
Okay, little hands.
Anybody want to volunteer? I'm not paying though. I have little cousins. I'll bribe them with candy. That didn't sound good.
Yeah, spray. You're good in spray.
It's the only thing I'm good at. And getting you sick.
No. No, I smile. I'm not paid for smile. This is extra. So any questions?
When is your airplane going?
I can't count the hours.
I'm staying here till Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
Without my boss.
Are you going to come back to the US at all for any other shows?
No, never. Well, oh, sorry.
I think maybe to the aquatic experience.
Yes.
Maybe.
You're not going to come back in a year? Do another tank?
Huh? No. Yes. No.
It's okay. You can lie to me.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It happens all the time.
So let's see.
Yes, in November we have.
Yeah. October.
October.
Maybe.
October, that's-
Maybe.
No, yes, October.
I like being teased.
Last year I traveled too much, and this year I don't want to travel too much. But okay. Change. Let's see.
You like scaping cubes?
Yeah.
What's your, is that, you have a favorite tank size or dimension?
I think the shell, so the shell things is very interesting and more white.
Yeah.
So I don't like too much the standard. Okay, this is a good size for sure, but cubes is not so easy.
Yeah.
And most challenging is always a room divider. Is always the I have few room divider customers, and it's always not easy to make. You have to decide what you make. You make something nice, or you make something you can take care. And yeah,
Cubes are my favorite.
Yeah.
I love cubes. Yeah. I think they're the easiest to maintain. How much food did you bring? Every time I look over, you're eating.
Just putting on a good show.
I like shows.
Yeah.
What's the best size aquarium for a first-time aquascaper?
first time. I think 90, 45, 45 is the best, but I think it's a little bit too big to the beginning. Maybe 60, but not 30 something in centimeter, you know. Maybe 60, 40, and 30 or something else. It's pretty cool. But as a nano tank in 30 liter, 40 liter, I think it's will be also okay. Plants. You can also drink the agar, you know. I show only how good the plant is.
Yes, I see that.
You know, there's hormones inside, and sugars, and Viagra.
I'm not that old yet. I don't need that. Shush you.
That's lemonade. Apple juice.
Apple juice.
For CO2 injection, do you have a preferred method? Do you do diffusers or inline?
Yes, no, I prefer something you can't see. You know, I like really the bubbles from the ceramic, everything. I like the style. I like to see it, and sometimes it's also better you see it because then it's running. But I prefer outside.
I was going to.
Outside.
I was going to use this on this thing.
Yes, for sure. You made it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't come anymore here. So if I use a canister filter, I try to get them inside the. I have bypass systems, or I put them inside the filter. So I don't like to see them in the tank, but it's really different. Some customer, it's better that they have it inside the tank that they see it's running. Because if it's down in the cabinet, oh, it's running. No, if they see it, it's sometimes better. But I prefer it much more if you don't see it. And it's the same for the technical equipment. Also, it's like in this tank, you can't see anything. I explain also the filter later. I want to install, and there's a heater inside, and. Because when I now want to add a heater here, it looks ugly, and the most I can remove it for the final shot for the contest. But you have to take a look the whole time at the tank. So, and I see every time the heater inside. I don't like it so much, but that's different. Fucking rude here. Sorry.
Now I'm demonetized.
Me. Me.
Is that because we can curse now?
Me.
Please don't. I have a brand to maintain.
Me.
What if we curse in other languages?
I won't know.
You won't.
Yeah.
You have to maintain it. So it's a mess here. Maybe I put later some more some moss on some of the roofs.
Oliver, are there any technologies that are being developed for aquariums that you're excited about?
Yeah. Our business is not so not so rich in technology. So for sure, LED, but LED is not coming from aquarium business. So the thing we made with Phoenix, I think it's really interesting with the camera. You can control a little bit your tank, or with the artificial intelligence. And yes, but we need more easy solution for the customers. I think that's the industry must have more ideas. So for example, when I see the marine guys in the USA, they are one of the, I think they're in the top in the world, the most innovative business, because there are a lot of hobbyists coming into the business and thinking about new products, and we need this more also for the freshwater. So we're thinking about new ideas, and not only a new heater or something else. I hope it will come in more. Yes?
Yeah.
Thanks. Can we remove this here a little bit?
We can do anything you want.
Yeah, can you clean it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I am at your service, sir.
Yes, thank you. Mister? But not the apple juice, please. But the Oh, I have one. Was it here? But I need the table. I don't know, what is this table? To killing animals or what is this?
I guess we'll find out later.
Ah, okay.
No, it's dentists. We're dentists?
Yes, killing people.
Yes.
Okay. Alcohol. No alcohol.
Goddess mother, secret lover. What?
No.
You're not going to use VAR?
No, kill it already.
Yeah. Razor blade in case you feel the crust later.
No. Stop here.
I mean, whatever you want to do, it's your show.
But I can use the wrong pizza for you.
Okay.
So I have one mozzarella left, and I mix them a little bit also. Maybe before I start with a little bit more, I can explain the. I can also make a break, and someone from Oase here, he can explain it. No, no.
More behind the scenes kind of go.
It's not an advertising show, huh? But maybe it's not so common because it's since when it's available, the filter in the US?
Oh, now.
Now, okay. Now. Now it's available. Coming from Germany?
Sure is.
Okay.
The German engineering.
German engineering.
Your people like it.
So that's the joke about the shop. Everything in here is German except the furniture is Swedish.
German also built big walls.
Big balls.
Walls.
Oh, walls.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. In the past.
Yeah.
Yes. We have experience.
Yeah. No balls though.
No balls. No political things here. Okay. I have to drink. Sorry. Apple juice. Big apple.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That's Manhattan. This is Brooklyn.
Okay. Sorry.
It's different.
What's your favorite drink in Brooklyn?
I don't know. 40s.
40. What's this?
I don't know. I'm just talking smack.
So, you know, canister filter. So, but the good thing, and this is a thermo filter. So we talk about. I don't like to have the heater inside. So this is a traditional. Yes. So you can see there's a traditional heater inside the filter system. So if it's out of order, you can change it. That is a good thing, and you don't have to change the whole equipment. And so you have the filter, you have the heater inside the filter, and the most interesting, instead of only of the filter material, you can change here. You have different. Materials you can put inside, biology materials, but the most interesting is the pre-filter. Is it pre-filter?
Pre-filter?
Pre-filter is the filter before the filter.
Yes.
Because sometimes my English sometimes is a little bit, what should I say? Some words I don't know.
It's okay, we will be.
Yeah, sure. So the most interesting is the pre-filter. So I've just take a look how it is unlock. So you can. I wish So when you run this canister filter and you want to just clean the pre-filter, you can stop the filter, you unlock the filter, and then you can change the pre-filter. This is the charcoal filter. We have there's also some different kind of.
Yeah, the pre-filter foams are charcoal and
Yes,
carbonated.
yeah, something like this. But the good thing is you can clean the pre-filter, put it in, and you don't have to clean the other kind of filter. So yeah, for sure, maybe in a few months or something else. But this keeps your biology clean. So, and that's the biggest pointer for this filter. I like it because always is the pre-filter or the fine filter is dirty, and you have to change the whole filter, or you have to open the whole filter. But in this case, you just have to change the pre-filter, and then you can keep them running. Yeah. So this is innovation. We're talking about innovation, and this is a cool innovation, I would say. No?
And they're available in the United States now?
Yes.
Yeah, here is someone from Oase, he can explain you.
After the show.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Well, we won't let you leave this room so you can answer all your questions.
I'll be around.
And I have put them at this stage also running here, and I have my first in Germany put in the stream tank, and yeah, I like it. I like the material, and I like this way to thinking about talking with customers, talking with experience. What's the problem when you have a filter? I think the biggest problem was always that the filter is too dirty. But most is the pre-filter or the fine filter is dirty, and the rest is sometimes is still okay. And yeah, I like this, and we will put them on this thing. And yeah, this is the most interesting. What can I explain from what? I don't want to make too much advertisement, but I think it's fair, no? Okay. And also I learned. What I really like is that the hose is really, I think it's 4 meters, huh? Or 5 meters, I don't know. It's really long.
Yeah,
The most they have 3 meters of, with this you can play, I don't know.
Yeah? Lasso. Yeah, be a cowboy. Yeah, baby.
But it's really important to having a long, because sometimes your filter is on the other side of the tank, and so it's a good solution in my opinion. Okay. So we have the filter and the moss. Some moss on the top. Yeah. Are you okay? Are you boring? Are you tired? You're fine?
Keep going, Oliver.
Yeah, it's okay. I want to go to bed. No, I'm fine.
No, you can't go yet.
How about you?
I thought we were going out to the club tonight.
Yeah. Not with you.
I think I just like making you cranky.
The club. 50 cents, huh?
50 cents. Chris! Yeah! Is that who should we put some music on? Let you dance a little bit?
Do you listen to a lot of rap when you aquascape?
What? Sorry?
Listen to a lot of rap when you aquascape?
Only Eminem. Yes, I'm back.
We were listening to some Gravediggers today.
Back again. No music sometimes. I need the silence. And mostly I'm alone.
Oh,
But
I quit now.
not today.
I love you.
I love me not. I love the apple juice. It was a long day. We have how much clock we have now in Germany? 5 in the morning.
Wait, no, it's like 4:30 in the morning.
I don't know how much clock we have now. 10:30.
It's 10:43. So yeah, it's 4:30. 43.
It's 4:30, so no jet lag, no problem.
Quarter to 5.
So at least liquid. Moss with a super glue, okay, it's not so traditional, but when the root's inside and you want to add the moss with a wool or with a fishing line is a little bit difficult.
You gotta shake it.
Yeah, I know it. I have experience. I failed. No. Yeah. No, I have experience with the super glue, I think.
I was gonna let you talk.
Yeah. I failed 2 times. Now I know how it works. The Gorilla super glue. Incredible. Yeah, okay. So the shaking is not so difficult, but how to get a hole inside. You know it?
The hole inside?
Yeah.
I can find a hole inside.
Oh my god.
It's very late. Yeah. You see, you must
a long day.
You must put a hole inside. Do you know how it works?
With the 2 components they mix together?
No. To getting the hole inside.
There's already a hole there.
No, not to cut. That's no.
There's already
Use the cap.
No.
Use the cap.
Yeah, you have to do something like this. And then it's a hole inside.
But there was already a hole inside.
No.
I'm telling you.
No, it's closed. Yeah, you have just to make it. It's here. You can read the manual, you know.
It's not in
Deutsch.
I don't know.
You can read the manual. What is it, Polish or what? It's good. So. Yeah. Okay, try it. Okay. So, show me where's the hole. Shake it and yes. You.
Germans make things complicated.
It's in the menu.
Kevin, that's why we won the war twice.
I know.
You shake too much. Yes. Okay.
That's weird.
You are single, huh?
No. You can't tell I'm a hot commodity.
Yes.
Or a store in a basement. I spend all my time alone.
Alone with Richard. Huh? So we have the spiky here. Oh, there's a lot of Libiaga here. That's no problem. You can eat this also. I need my apple juice.
Tomorrow in the New York Times, German Aquascaping died.
But it's not so bad, I think. It looks only.
It's natural.
Yes. Mamma mia. So, we keep them a little bit wet, and I think if you're using the super glue, okay, when it's the moss is gone, you see the white glue, but you can remove them really easy with a knife. So, but that's actually the most easiest way. And if the decoration is wet and the plant also, it works really well. And yeah, I think I give the some big roots here a little bit more interesting view. So it takes a few minutes, and if you have some questions, Kevin.
Yes.
I need an entertainer.
You need an entertainer?
Yes, I need a how we call it, the monkey. No,
I hate monkeys.
So because I have to.
Really? You need help?
You know, you can tell a story or something.
I want to tell stories about monkeys, but none of them are appropriate.
So if you have any questions, no problem.
Kevin can tell the story how you do it normally with
Oh, you string instead of glue?
Whoa.
What did you do, Thomas?
I'm innocent.
No, what fell?
I did nothing. I don't.
It's a heart attack.
Oh yeah, the sucker. Blood sucker.
Yeah. So you prefer glue over wrapping in string?
No, I prefer wrapping, but I don't have time for wrapping.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I think the best way is the cotton wool.
Oh yeah, the moss cotton.
Yes, moss cotton, exactly. Shake it.
I am. I'm shaking it.
Yeah.
Do some mosses, I've found some mosses don't attach as quickly with.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of moss. If you want to have them really attach on wood, you have to make something like this in small pieces, and then you just give them the time. Because when we make something like this, there's maybe only 1–2% they can attach because they don't get the light, everything. So this is not the real way to attach them. I think the real way is to using small pieces and give them the time to grow really.
The fronds attachment to the rhizome.
Yes, right. Yeah.
For like some plants, like the willow moss, which I love. I mean, I hate Java moss, but the closest thing you get is willow moss.
Yeah.
And it won't attach underwater very well. On land it will, it'll get very compact, but underwater it just gets stringy. It's annoying. But it's an awesome moss, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it.
And yes, you have some really nice moss.
I don't know what any of it is. I'm terrible with moss. I like, oh, this looks cool, and then I'll put it in a tank with like 5 other mosses, and they all get mixed in. I think it looks great, and then I have no idea what I have.
You have the filter out. How would you set up the filter to get the right flow for this tank so that you don't get dead spots?
You think how I set up
The inflow and outflow so that.
Yeah, for aesthetical reasons, sometimes I using the same place, no? To having this circle. So, for example, inflow and outflow, and then you're having this something. Sometimes, depending when I have a lot of fish inside, I try to make it on the opposite. But it's really I think we have to make. If you don't have a stream tank, but I think we have to think about more small nano stream pumps in a normal tank, because the problem is always that you have the too less stream that the filter getting the dirt. That's the problem. Only with the outflow from the filter is sometimes not enough, and I think we need more additional pumps like in the marine to having more. Okay, depending on the fish. If you have the wrong fish inside, you can't make a stream, too much streams. But I think most important is how you put in, how to get the water in into the inflow. This is the aesthetic thing.
Another question is, where do you get your inspiration for aquascaping from? Where is it travel? Is it other scapers?
No, as much beer I drink as good as the inspiration. It's very different. So for sure, there's a lot of competition. I have some ideas, but nature for sure, but also movies, games. But they pay the most. They have the best people who create the game, so they are really there's really different inspiration. So and I don't like to be. I really like to do some different things, and yeah. So that always, and sometimes also the customer. If you have some customer and I have set up a tank. Last month for a customer in Germany. They want to have their Manhattan skyline and State of Liberty, Paris, the Tour de Eiffel, and Brandenburg, the Brandenburger Tor, or isn't that in
Brandenburger Tor?
from Berlin. They want to have this 3 kind of items inside the tank and some mini sharks, freshwater, what they call the Arius, Semani.
Oh, yeah, the dollar
Brackish.
Oh, brackish, yeah.
So this is when the customer wants it, you try to give him what he wants. So it's not very popular, this kind of tanks in Germany, but in USA you don't have any problems with the fancy tanks. So I think it's not. It's more important, you know. This tank is at least 1,600 liter, and there are living 10 catfish inside. They have the space, so and they have 2 big filters, so it's not an yeah. I think it's okay. So I'm not say okay, I only make a planted tank or only aquascape. So yeah, I'm open for everything. Not everything for a lot.
Oh, I got excited.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Not too many.
No, that's okay.
You can be less too.
My dad says beauty's a light switch away. I have time. How many people got that? No, it's okay. I had an interesting job recently where I got hired to do tanks for a movie.
Yeah.
And I put my heart into it. All these beautiful scapes are on the window of a pet shop. And they kept on going, don't try too hard. And I was there for filming. I was really excited, like, oh, all these beautiful tanks are going to be in this movie. And 20 minutes after being in there, they blew up all the tanks. What? It was gunfire. They didn't tell me though, so it was like, you know, 150 pounds of dragon stone and like $1,000 worth of plants.
Kevin's the door.
What's up? We're going?
Police is coming. So I think more. I think with a little bit moss on it, I think it looks a little bit more interesting. Not all everything, but the bigger one.
Oliver, for most of us, aquascaping is like a hobby.
Yeah.
For you, I guess you make a living doing this, but what kind of hobbies do you have outside of aquascaping?
I think the only hobby I have, my partner here behind, Thomas. I have 2 kids. One is my daughter is 8 and my son 9 and my son is 11. So this is
that's what you're doing.
Actually, my hobby. Yeah. But I don't have much time more, so but I try to spend the most of time with them. That is actually. Let's see if I find another hobby. Sitting in the plane and watching movies. That's okay.
How long do your aquascapes last? Do you design for longevity or for, you know, a photo competition, that kind of thing?
How long it takes?
How long do they stay up before you break them down?
It depends. You can using the quick plants or fast-growing plants. You can set up a tank in 3-4 months. And then you can make a new one if you like. But I think the big thing is if you prepare for a contest tank and try to run them for 8-9 months to keep them really in the perfect condition. I think that's the big thing. Or you make really one for 2-3 years. I think that's. But after then, I think for competition tanks is 9 months. I think it's long enough, okay. Depending on the plans. They're all drunk in here.
How many customers do you maintain simultaneously?
Yeah, Yeah, that's different because some they call me when it's too late. Some yeah, it's I have in the month not the same, but depending on if I have time, 30, 40 different customers every month, and but actually I try because I have different business. Targets actually, I try also to teach them to make a little bit by themselves, and then I can maybe I cut the plants and then the rest they make by them. So I try to teach them to clean the glass and make water change, and I think sometimes the filter they have the problems is always cleaning the filter. I have 3 customers. With a big canister filter, they always try to hook me because the filter is 24, 28 kilos heavy. And if you are not able to carry 28 kilos, so it's not very clever because you can't change it. So the people always say, okay, I don't want to change the filter or clean the filter, because it's too heavy to keep it up. So this is also a good solution here. Not many filters have this. You can carry him with here. In some filter you have to.
George Farmer has stopped by. I think he's finally woken up on the other side of the ocean.
Okay, George, try. It's a little bit early, George. No, it's it's very early. It's
4 o'clock then.
4 o'clock.
Oh no! I can't explain why he's up then.
It's better to sleep. Take care, you're not so young anymore, huh?
Oh no, I've introduced heckling into this.
Gorilla. Yeah, it's okay, but you have always shaped them. And, sorry.
What happened to the other ones?
This here, I can't shake them anymore. No. Oh,
I'll get more.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
You have to be gentle.
I only have this left, so it's okay.
Oh, there's so much more in here.
Yes, but I don't shake them so hard like you.
No. You gotta jerk it really hard.
We put the water today or tomorrow?
It's up to you. What do you want to do? We can do it now. I mean, it'll take it slow.
How do people feel that are in the room about watching the tank fill up with water?
Yes. We put them on the.
You can drink more beer.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, look, lots of smiles now. Oh, I see how it is. Okay. If we get more people to come and I do more of these, you guys will come? Yes? No?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You guys know that one Friday a month we do things like this? We have like booze and scaping, BYOB, you know, get drunk and skate. Can I say more? Well, I mean, you're demonetized. I can just go to town, right?
You don't have to shake.
Kevin, you and me are gonna fight.
I'll fight you.
Yeah, you'll win.
So it's okay. Maybe we can add later some more stuff. I think it's okay for you because we don't have any more. And yes, that's all. So we put the tanks on the. Should we stay here with the tank?
Or we just wrap it in plastic. We'll fill
yeah, but we can fill them.
What do you mean?
We can fill the tank with water.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
And then we can make a break. Or we can make a break and fill them instead. So we can take a look.
Let's do that.
You're my guest. What would you like to do?
And filling is at least 45 minutes.
So yeah, we'll start filling and then we can walk away, come back.
Yes, that's for sure. And if everything is coming up, I go.
Okay. Okay.
So this is. We have now a little bit of water, so you can take a beer or take a round, and yeah, I think that's all for today. I hope you enjoy it a little bit. And see, I hope you can see us again in New York City or New Jersey. Where's this aquatic experience?
New Jersey, Secaucus. It's like 40 minutes from here.
Okay, if you have any question, no problem. I'm here drinking my beer, my apple juice. And yeah, it was nice to meet you and hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. And feel free, go around, take a look.
Great job again.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. This is a beautiful tank.
Cool. Cool. I just went to, it wasn't indoor, it was outdoor, but it was in New Orleans. I just went to a couple of art markets, and they, so I got this ring. I got like a lot of stuff, really.
All right, everyone, I'm driving this ship now. I am going to give you a nice up-close tour of this tank in just a second, so bear with me. Oh gosh, chairs. All right. I'm gonna let everyone take their picture before I get in there, but so now we can actually see a couple of angles for this tank for everyone that has stuck through this whole thing. That makes it sound like it wasn't enjoyable. It was great. It's just 2.5 hours long. All right, so peeking down from the top view, yeah, you can see the depth of this full tank. Would you guys like to just have a live stream of the fill up of this tank? Let me know. So it's an 18-inch deep tank, or about 50 centimeters. So you can see how much he has taken advantage of the depth of this tank. Yeah, gosh, having just listened to this for 2.5 hours, I'm struggling to figure out what to say. So I might just let you guys actually just take an up-close look at everything.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'm going to let people that are actually here take a picture of the tank. So now you guys got a nice little live. There's a 3/4 view. You know, the best view for thumbnails.
Sometimes they are like this.
So let's see. I'm just gonna let you guys take a little view.
Most of them, also this here, is going up some now. Yes, yes. But it's depending on the tank, so sometimes the plants are in the size and then I can...
So I am probably going to come back here in a month or two, and I will film an update for you guys so everyone can see how this tank grew in. I'm really excited to see how it develops. I'm going to tell Kevin to keep his filthy paws off of this tank so that we can actually see how the tank fully develops. Oliver, are we going to fill this tank now?
Yes, now,
or in a bit? Because people might want to just watch the tank fill up on the live stream if you're up for it. What's in the bottom left front? That's a great question. I don't remember. Right here.
This is Liliopsis brasiliensis.
It's Liliopsis. I'm not going to give the species name. The genus is Liliopsis.
Liliopsis brasiliensis.
It looks pretty great from the front. You guys were all looking at it from a slight angle. I think it looks pretty solid. What type of fish will go in? That's a great question. One that we don't have an answer for yet. I think that's probably Kevin's call. Yeah. I mean, Kevin is not a big fish keeper. Kevin likes plants. So I would not be shocked if this tank ends up with like 3 neon tetras and that's it.
Ultimate Angel, huh?
Yeah. One Ultimate Angel. Oh, this is a solid angle too. I really like this angle for the tank. Over this side. Oh man, I have an innovative idea. I'm going to show you the tank from the back. Look at that, it's boring. I don't know what I expected, but you can actually see the substrate line of the lava rock and then the transition into aqua soil. So it's about that much aqua soil in the back and that much lava rock. So you can actually really tell. Oh, and from the side, hopefully you can tell that as well, that the lava rock fills that whole section, which is great for 2 reasons. One, the lava rock is less likely to compress when the tank is filled. It also is less likely to have stagnant areas that will struggle to have proper water flow, so you won't end up with dead areas that could potentially harbor deadly gases. Cool, so I'm going to lock down the camera in front of the tank, and we'll just roll this live stream until we fill up the tank. It'll be real boring. I'm gonna mute it so that you don't just get weird background noise. But it'll be here, and I'll stick around to answer people's questions the best that I can. So, bear with me. I'm fighting a tripod that I taped down. All right. If you thought that this live stream was slow TV, wait for the 1.5-hour fill-up sequence. That'll be compelling. Oh gosh. All right, we're gonna defeat this. This is gonna get level eventually. Okay.
I think we put the tank a little bit more behind before we finish.
You wanna help me move the tank back a little bit?
Yes, I think.
All right, let's do it together.
We tried.
All right, this looks like this is gonna weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
Steps are not gonna be light.
Step by step. You can use brush and brush, but no problem. No. If you use normal brush or something else, but also hard, I use it like normal rocks, no problem. Because it's like burned sand. It's like ceramic, so you can't destroy them. So maybe step by step.
Where are we wanting to end up?
Yeah, lining up with the brick. Yes, yeah. And maybe we have space, something like this.
Okay. Okay.
That's good.
All right, get ready for the most compelling live stream of all time. All right, so how do we go about filling up this tank?
Yeah, to put some, to avoid the, I try to use this, the kitchen towel, the water is going on the kitchen towel and then do the to the ground, and then you can avoid that.
Right. So you want to make it so that you don't end up with a current of water.
Yeah, but if you the problem is always if you put it too fast inside.
Right.
It's always the biggest problem.
While he does that, does anyone have any questions? Since it's just the two of us in this room together, we can get real intimate. Maybe not. So this is about 70 gallons. That's yeah, where should these lights end up? Because I just put them on there at the start of this.
Yeah, I think that's not I think maybe they should hang them.
Yeah, so fully hang them.
Yeah, I think that we have one here in the center and here in the center. Actually, yeah, I think it's not a bad position because it's just
so what is the most undervalued or frequently skipped step in terms of building a long-term scape while we fill up this tank?
What's the question exactly?
What is the step that people often skip when they're building an aquascape that they should take more time with?
Yes, I think how much time they can spend, and the water parameter. So that's also what water they use. Because if you're having soft water like here, it's much easier than if you have hard water and you have to try to find the way to getting the good water. So the water source and the time is for sure one of the most important. So that how much time you can spend for water change and for sure any planted tank need a CO2 system.
Right.
So. That's a clip.
All right, so we are pumping this water from a barrel in the back using an electric pump. So I'm not going to be the one to turn it on.
Is there a light here? No.
Can you buy this aqua soil at Brooklyn Hardscape? Can you buy your aqua soil?
Yeah, I think we can contact Kevin. That's available in the USA.
Yes. So
Aqua Earth.
the Oliver's aqua soil is now available in the United States, and you can presumably buy it through Brooklyn Hardscape. Although without Kevin here, I can't actually confirm that. What are you after?
I don't get them out here. It's tools.
Let me go ask some questions. So,
Got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
we're just gonna live stream the filling of this tank, and the most gripping video of all time.
Slowly.
Why don't we wait until I can see it
Yeah.
and then I close it? The pressure is
No, it's just
slow?
yeah.
Okay. All right, boss.
Can I put this plastic bag over the opening to try to soften the blow a little bit?
He's in fertilizer? Stop selling this stuff. They stopped selling this
So now it's running through the paper and down, and I think it's the first till the water line reach the middle or something else. That's the most important.
Okay.
It's also because of the soil that is not going something like this.
You're not gonna get a slump.
Yeah.
How frequently does this water need to be changed now that it's
So
being
at the
filled?
beginning with the soil and the soft water, at least 50% in the week, or every 2 days, 25%, because it's very not aggressive, but very active.
Gotcha.
The first 3 weeks or something.
So
after,
if you don't do that kind of water change, are you going to end up with algae problems
Yeah,
and nutrient spikes that are going to
yes, and
burn
also
everything?
Some plants, like in vitro plants, can be. It's possible that the pH goes too much down, and some in vitro plants don't like this so much.
So you're going to end up with melt
Yes.
and burning
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
of how much
Also-
nutrients is going into the water column.
What?
How much nutrients is going into the water column from the aqua soil?
Yes, there's a lot of nutrients in the beginning. So that's the natural effect from the volcanic ash. And, but it's not so. If you know it and if you can make a water change, you can also add some ingredients and to harden the water. But I prefer the water change.
That makes sense.
Well, this is a hot mess that I'm
Still aquascaping?
Sorry?
Still aquascaping?
I am. I'm struggling to find the balance between making videos and aquascaping.
How's your channel doing?
It's doing well, but this is on right now. So this conversation, this is inside information with everyone. But I've got 8 tanks running right now at home that I'm moving all of them over into what I'm going to call my aquascaping nook. Because right now they're just scattered all over my apartment, and it's not good.
Right.
So I'm moving everything over, which should give me a good excuse to actually show people the work that I've been doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Tap or RO water?
So that's treated water from that big bucket.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you if it's RO. I don't think it is, because the water here is so soft already that I don't think would be a reason to. But it is treated. It's not straight tap. Gosh, this is possibly more boring in person than on live stream.
It's going to take a while.
It's going to take a very long time. All right, guys. I am going to mute you because, otherwise you're really invading on people's personal conversations.
Sorry.
So I am alone in front of this tank. There are people in the other room, but I'm just here by myself. So, hi. How is everyone doing? Yeah. I wonder if anyone will ever hear my voice saying these things. Oh, hello. Hi. I have nothing to say, so I don't know why I unmuted this. I have literally nothing to contribute. But hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this lovely live stream. I'm sorry that it was broken into two sections. I have a notification on my phone to stop using social media after, I think, 45 minutes. And it stopped my live stream because it decided that I didn't deserve any more social media for the day. So it muted my live stream, which means that I had to start a new live stream. So that's why this video is in two sections. For someone that, I don't know, maybe 3 years from now discovers this video, somehow watches all 3 hours, and then gets to this point, that's why the live stream is broken into two sections. Yeah, I know, it's pretty juicy tidbits. Those are the kind of incredible conversations you were missing out on while this video was muted. Yeah, so we are coming up on 30% full. Pretty exciting stuff. The paper towel seems to be doing its job of stopping the scape from being totally destroyed. I did put a plastic bag over the outflow. Per my friend Nick's suggestion. So I just took one of the bags that was surrounding one of the plants. I tied off the tip, and now we have a lovely plastic sock. Yeah, plastic sock. That's what we'll call it. Oh, hi Jen. Oh gosh. Anyway, pushing through the fact that Jen lives very close to my house, and you know, very intimate that she is also listening to me this. The slow fill method with paper towels was what I needed for my mouse, and that comment is gone. Well, I'm glad that it was what you needed, or I'm sad that it didn't get that information to you in time. Sadly, I have no idea what the comment was because I'm just peering over my phone here. Let's see, what can I describe? This tank is, I'm looking at it on screen. I think this tank is much bigger than it actually looks on screen. Yeah, the comments go away. But I know that I've told you guys that this tank is, I think it's about 40 inches, not, yeah, so it's 90 centimeters. It's somewhere in between 90 and 100 centimeters, I think. It looks like it's more than 3 feet across. Maybe it's not. But this is actually quite a bit smaller than the tank that we did last night. The tank we did last night, I think, was 120 centimeters across. We were hoping to do a much bigger tank tonight. We were hoping to do, I think it's 130-ish centimeters from side to side. But the positioning of that tank was less ideal for having an audience gathered around, so we went with this tank instead, because this tank was on a stand that we could actually move. Yeah, it's a python condom. That's a great way of describing it, or a horrifying way of describing it. Does anyone have any questions for me while I'm here? That's why sometimes for super deep stuff we use filler to take up space. Yes. Yeah, so if anyone has any specific questions for me, Alex, the person that runs Tank Tested, I am happy to answer them because it means that I don't have to interact with the people in the other room. And if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that my desire to not interact with people is quite high. I got you, Alex, answered for you. How do I get such amazing voice sound quality in my post-process videos? Yeah, so I can actually answer that question. The video audio quality is not that good. But what I do, since my style for this channel has largely been I film the tank and then I do a like 45 to an hour long interview with the tank creator about that tank. And then I cut that interview down to between 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how interesting the interview is and how good the footage is that I collected on that tank. So I record that audio specifically with a Zoom microphone. So it's a audio first microphone. It's not like I'm using a camera mic or anything like that. I'm using the same type of microphone that a lot of reporters use when they're on the fly. It's not the type of microphone they use when they have control over the situation, but it's a good microphone to use when you are interviewing subjects and you don't want to intimidate them with a giant microphone. Someone asked what are the future things for Tank Tested. I'm gonna sit down, so bear with me and I will get back to that. All right, I'm gonna make some sounds so you can tell that I'm sitting down. All right, I'm sitting now. So, future things for Tank Tested. So I've got more than 20 videos shot at this point. The backlog for me is really editing the videos. I have so many tanks filmed, but I don't have the time or the emotional energy to edit the videos all the time. Each video takes me around 40 hours to make in post-producing. Because I like to take my time with it and make the best thing that I can. And I don't always have the time to actually do that. So some of the videos that are coming up that I'm excited about, I have filmed a super tiny aquarium. It's the all encompassed little tank that I think it's like a Pico tank. It's less than 2 cups of water. So I'm excited about that tank. That video is really fun. I shot it in a very Wes Anderson style. Because it's such a small tank, I wanted to do a stylized video with it. So I'm excited for that. I also have an awesome fishbowl video with my friend Ricky, who is who I stay with when I'm up in New York. And Ricky has this wonderful 10-gallon fishbowl that actually you can see a little sneak peek of in Rachel O'Leary's video that she posted today, because Rachel and I were both staying at Ricky's house last night. It's a really cool tank, and it kind of shows what you can do with a fishbowl. And then the back half of that video is kind of explaining why you need to be careful with fish bowls, because they are not an ideal shape for an aquarium. So that's an exciting video that I'm hopeful that it'll get some real distribution, because I think people are interested in fish bowls. I think it's what everyone first started out with. I'm also going to be showing you guys an in-depth look at Kevin's 2-gallon fish tank that's in Brooklyn Hardscape. I shot that when I was here about a month and a half ago, and that video, it's really satisfying. It's a little bookshelf aquarium. Other videos, Jen Williams is presumably still in the chat, although maybe she's not. Maybe she's also gotten bored of this. Yes, the foot tank, the little foot tank is the tank that we're going to be doing a nice little in-depth piece on. So Jen put together a tank at the Aquatic Experience this past year with a couple of other people. Nick, who I just mentioned, was also one of the people that put that tank together. So I will be posting a video of that tank. I think it's a really cool tank because it's another tank that literally was set up for 24 hours. And it's very satisfying to see what a tank can look like in that short a period of time. Trying to think what other interesting videos are on the horizon. So I still have my 12 YouTubers video that everyone has really interesting answers. I shot the video really quickly in my hotel room at the Aquatic Experience, and I used a bed sheet as my backdrop, and I've been trying to replace the backdrop, the bed sheet backdrop, with an actual more cinematic quality backdrop. And as a result, I've been just refusing to publish that video because I need to take the time to make that video look as good as I want it to look, because I am a perfectionist, and it is not healthy. We're coming up on about 40%. I'm entertaining people by whispering into the microphone while you guys do your own thing.
You know, I did that the same system, Cube, with the laterite and lava stone. Yep. Yeah, the cube that's out there is the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, Jen is here. Oh no, I've ruined everything. Don't mind me. I'm just having a conversation with a phone. No, don't do it. Okay. You know, gosh, you've smudged everything. Oh gosh, it's so smudged, Kevin. Oh gosh, that is disgusting. Wash your hands.
That was from my nose. Oh, on the inside.
Oh no. All right. Anyway, other things that I'm excited about. Other things that I'm excited about. Nick is back. So Nick has a really cool tank that's at the Glen Echo Park Aquarium. He put together the oyster tank that I published about a month and a half ago. I have a part 2 of that video that I've got to make eventually that is more about explaining how the whole thing was done. But he's got a couple of other tanks in the Glen Echo Park Aquarium gallery that are worth seeing and worth visiting. So I want to film those and show those to you guys. My favorite tank that I've gotten to see in person, which no longer exists, is actually my friend Gazenfar's, I think it's a 90 centimeter aquarium that was set up about 1.5 years ago. I filmed that video, but I lost the audio recording from Gazenfar, so I never published that video. But it is my favorite tank. It has one of my favorite plants, which is the guapa grass, the Murphy grass, the unnamed grass that one of the club members at Guapa discovered. And I just really love this tank, and I really want to share it with you guys. You can see a quick peek of it in the video that I published at the start of December, asking people to vote on what things they would like to see. So all those videos are still videos that I have to make at some point, along with more than a dozen others that I've shot since then or have been sitting on for months or years. While I have some of you here, is there anything that you guys would like to see more of on the channel? Is there anything that you guys are into? Anything that you don't really want to see more of? I'm curious about your insights on that, because I can only do what I find interesting. And while I only want to do things that I find interesting, it'd be great if I could find things that you guys are also interested in. Will all of Knott's products be on Brooklyn Hardscape website? I believe so. I know that the Back to Nature stuff is going to be sold with Brooklyn Hardscape. I think most of that stuff will be sold through the Brooklyn Hardscape website. So keep an eye out for that. We're coming up on the halfway point on this fill. This is pretty exciting stuff.
This is the big finale.
It's the slowest finale ever.
Find a way to spice it up.
Sorry, you asked about the one that he filled up. I'm talking to the phone here. The one that he filled up with the auto top off, the 215-gallon Aquascape that Gazenfar set up. That's the same person that did the tank that I'm excited to show you guys. Have I filmed the Lesbian ADA tank? I have not. I would like to, but I have not. I'm still on the live stream. Well, thanks. How am I gonna get there by next week? I'm not. Is the answer. I'll never see it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll never see it. There's no way I'm gonna get to Lisbon.
I was looking at flights to Lisbon. It was like $278 from New York. Right?
Yeah, but then you are in Lisbon, and you have to live there.
Lisbon's cheap. Every time I go there, I just find a nice taxi driver and I ask them where to eat and where to stay.
You need to go there, definitely. It's so nice.
It's on my bucket list for sure. If I could find a long weekend and $1,500, I'd go there in a second.
Just under 1,000.
Germany, we're organizing this. I tell your boss we need to have a real big trip to know all the knowledge of
Perfect.
aquascaping.
I can easily go along with that.
See?
Let's go, is probably what Jen said. In addition to the fact that I can only see things for a brief moment, I also have this phone clamped, and the clamp is over the section that I wanna go is probably what Nick said. Who knows? I can't see what anyone's commenting. It's fine. This is engaging content. We've been watching a fish tank fill up for the last 30 minutes, so the fact that there's still 33 people on this live stream is horrifying.
Really?
Guys, the real MVPs.
Hi guys.
So, do you want to say who you are, or you're just going to not give any context?
No.
Cool. No context to that.
Better to leave a mystery.
That's fine. What is the temperature of the water being filled? I don't think it's heated.
It's not very warm, but it's not extreme cold. But then
20 degrees?
20.
Yeah, maybe 18?
You're just out of frame, and I'm very happy about it.
Hold on.
No, your head is still out of frame. Great. It's
19.5 degrees, but maybe 19.8.
Anyone that was like happily relaxing watching that is just, you've ruined everything.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have any floaters.
No.
You don't have any floaters in here.
No.
Gosh.
Lucky.
Professionalism.
Luck. Only luck.
I know, Oliver. You're doing this long time now.
Oh, you're so damn fast.
That's true.
You fast as, what's his name again? Whatever.
That's a good note of highly technical tanks and what made them work.
Big tools for sale. Like the.
Where did you get those?
It was a gift from my business partner.
And why were they ever made? They're so large.
I think for terrarium.
Yeah,
Oh.
we have some for a terrarium, but they're still probably only like half that size. Those are huge. That would be super helpful. For bigger
At
things.
Guafa, we keep selling back and forth a pair of tweezers it's about a 5-foot pair of tweezers. It's significantly larger than that one. I think, Nick, do you own that giant set of tweezers? Nick is in the live stream. Or did Nick sell that giant pair of tweezers?
They're definitely like, I use them for like I had to look it up, it's an 880 centimeter, but 880 centimeter by 45 centimeter tank. It's the only way I can get to the center of the tank, and even then I'm like,
Still a struggle.
I took a nap in it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's huge.
Why are you not switching off the live stream?
Here, I'll mute it. You can do whatever you like.